Again, my name is Bob Sims. I work for U.S. Gypsum Company, subsidiary of USG Corporation. Oh, I'm sorry. We have a manufacturing facility in Baltimore that started in 1962. It was originally one single board manufacturing line, and we brought gypsum rock in on ship from Nova Scotia. In 1987, we added a second board manufacturing line to the plant, and then in 2000, we added a cement board plant. And then in 2008, most recently, we added a joint treatment operation. So we have a wide variety of building construction products that we make here at our plant in Baltimore. And we're a critical part of the manufacturing network for USG. We cover the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. metro area. We also ship down into the Mid-Atlantic region. And then we also ship up into the Northeast into the New York market as well. So we're a key component of USG's manufacturing sites. We have the audit that was done in our board line. So we really focused on the one board line that we have operating. I mentioned we have a second line, but that was idled in 2008 due to the downturn in the housing industry. So the audit was done on the single board line, and it really looked at everything. If you look at everything that they looked at, from the low end, low cost opportunities to very high end potential. For example, we looked at the sensors that you might put in restrooms or offices on the low end, and on the high end, we looked at cogeneration. Could you put a cogeneration plant in that would be beneficial to your operation? So just a very wide range of things that you can do from an energy standpoint. As far as our status prior to engaging with RMI, we had always had energy coordinators. We're a large energy user in our business, and so we've always had energy coordinators, and we've always had a focus on energy. But the difference has been, it's always been assigned to an individual energy coordinator. So you've got an engineer that you assign energy projects, but in addition to that, they have multiple duties and responsibilities. And the reality is, it doesn't always get the focus that it needs. And so we would not be able to really get a lot accomplished because of all the other projects that you've got going on. The other issue with that approach is that you really have a single-minded or single individual that's focusing on energy. So here you have a big operation, and you have one person that's trying to direct an energy program. That's just not going to be successful long term. So we brought RMI in to take a look at what opportunities that we might have in the plant. Even though we've been focusing on this for a long time, if you don't have more than one individual working on it and they're extremely busy, you're really not going to be able to determine everything that's out there. So we had a very, very comprehensive report from RMI regarding the opportunities that we had in the plant. The other thing that they brought to us that I think is absolutely critical is the green team approach and the cultural change that you need to get everybody engaged in your operation to look at energy. If you don't have that, in my opinion, you're not going to be successful long term. I think one of the challenges is a lot of people, when they work in the plant, they look at turning off a light switch or turning down a thermostat, and they say, you know what, in the grand scheme of all the energy we use, that's not really that important. It's not that big of a deal. But when you really look at it and you combine all of these things together, it is a big deal. And so it's absolutely important that we get everybody engaged in trying to improve our energy efficiency. And I think we're doing that. We're making progress in that direction with the green teams. The other thing I think it's important, as you put solutions in place, you're going to get benefits from those solutions. But if you don't have a good process to continually do it and a good process to control it, they'll work well for a year, maybe 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years, and then you have turnover, change in your organization, and then all of those great things that you did to achieve that energy reduction and that savings goes away because you don't have a good control mechanism in place to be able to keep it going. And I think, again, creating a culture in your plant where everyone is looking at energy helps to sustain those improvements that we're going to put in place in our facility.
Yeah, Bob, and I think one of the things that I'd really like to commend your team for is that you guys have actually planned out a schedule over the next year in terms of when some of these energy upgrades are going to occur. I think that's fantastic because that's, at the end of the day, we're trying to get you to kind of make those commitments, and you've already made those commitments. Maybe not today, but we have kind of a calendar in terms of when you're going to make them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, when you look at all these things in a 56-page report, there are obviously a lot of things. if you prioritize everything, then nothing's prioritized. So you've got to look at what's really key for us to get done, when do we want to get done, and then I think we'll be more successful at getting them implemented and completed.
Thanks so much.